What's going on, y'all? Power. This is episode 5. Girl. My nigga. Motherfucking laces, okay? Kung Fu Kenny came through, all right? And I'm really happy with this episode, y'all. It gave me a whole lot more than the previous 4 episodes gave me. Kendrick Lamar really added a whole lot, okay? A completely different dynamic to this show. And I'm going to tell y'all something. When I heard Kendrick was going to be doing a guest spot on this show, I had no idea that this was the type of character that he was going to be playing. I don't know. It just did not cross my mind. I saw him in a totally different capacity, but he nailed it. I love the episode, y'all. And I haven't been this excited about Power since the season started. You know, it was kind of dragging for me, and I told y'all that, but definitely this episode gave me a whole lot more, and we're gonna talk about it. Okay, so this is episode 5, Happy Birthday. So the episode starts out with La Cosa Nostra, okay, and they are at Vincent's little spot, okay, and Vincent catches Tommy in the lie that Tommy told, because when the hit was botched that Tommy put out on Dre, Sammy vouched for Tommy when he said that he had taken care of it, okay? And this is where Tommy gets called to the carpet for that, because Vincent, the drive-by just went down last episode. So Vincent was like, something's not sitting right with me about this whole drive-by. And then Tommy was like, well, the dude Dre or whatever, okay? And Vincent was like, this is the same dude you told me that you took care of. So you lied. And Terezi's like, gives him the nod, like, go ahead and just tell the truth. So Tommy admits it, okay? And Vincent, at this point, gives Terezi an ultimatum. Because he's like, these two are your boys, okay? Tommy and Sammy. These are your boys, Terezi, so I'm going to need you to take care of this. So he hands him the pistol. He was like, okay, you choose. One of these niggas got to go. You choose. Hands him the pistol. Of course, Terezi was like, come on, you really want to do this, Vincent? I mean, nobody got killed. He told the truth. I mean, what you want to do? Vince is like, nigga, you take this pistol or it's going to be all 3 of y'all, okay? So Terezi has a vested interest, remember? So he takes the pistol, points it at Sammy, and says, I'm sorry, and pulls the trigger. No bullets in the gun, okay? No bullets in the gun. Sammy's not dead, but this was to test Terezi's loyalty, because once that goes down, he pulls the trigger and nothing happens. Vincent says, okay, you're always going to be family, but that's it. Okay, so he takes the pistol and they leave, leaving Sammy, Terezi, and Tommy. Sammy jacks Tommy up and is like, it's been nothing but chaos since you the fuck showed up, okay? So Terezi gets Sammy off of Tommy. Tommy leaves and Sammy's like, nigga, you was gonna shoot me? Like, you just met that nigga, talking about Tommy, okay? So that's how the episode opened up, and I was like, it's gonna be some shit. I knew this episode was gonna be good, okay? So Tariq is coming home for his birthday. They're in the car, Tariq and Ghost, on the car ride home. Tariq is like, why did I have to come home for my birthday? And anyway, they just get into this conversation about what Tariq and Tasha had talked about previously, because we remember Tasha just happened to come clean with everything about what Tariq had been wanting to know all this time. And Ghost pretty much dismisses everything that Tasha told Tariq by kind of sort of just diminishing it and saying that, you know, she's emotional, she's not herself, you got to take everything she says with a grain of salt. And Tariq is Tariq is not feeling it. You could tell in his face, Tariq is not feeling it. He's not very receptive because at this point, Tasha has been honest with Tariq, but Ghost has yet to, you know, really show that side of himself to Tariq. So Tariq is really not feeling it. And Ghost tells Tariq that when he gets older, he'll tell him his version of the truth. As in, Tasha told Tariq her version of the truth, and when Tariq is of age, Ghost will tell Tariq Ghost's version of the truth. Okay, and he says, I was just trying to protect you and trying to give you the things that I never had as a kid, which to me is still a cop out because it's a lot that Ghost hasn't come to terms with, and it's just you know, I think he's really just saying whatever he can say in that moment to get the heat off of him, like he always does. So moving on to Tasha. Tasha is purchasing the birthday cake for Tariq. She's at their usual spot, their bakery, and Terry is there. Okay, so Terry is still trying to get Tasha to move in with him. Okay, and let me hold on. Y'all, when Tasha said, I have Yaz, Terry said, okay, well, bring Yaz, right? But initially, I thought he said, bring your ass. Bring your ass is what I thought. Now, y'all, okay, don't judge me, but I'm just saying that's what I thought he said. And I had to rewind it a couple. I always watch twice anyway, so I can take my notes so I could do this and talk to y'all about it, right? But the first time I watched it, I was kind of distracted a little bit. So when I heard him say, bring Yaz, I don't know. It just immediately it registered as bring your ass. Okay, but anyway, moving on. So Terry is telling Tasha, you need to stay away from Ghost and from under his influence. Tasha's like, if it's anybody influence I'm under, it's yours. Oh, titty head Terry with that damn tight ass mustache. I still don't really I ain't with Terry, you know, and it just I don't know. But anyway, so she gets up to the counter and the guy behind the counter was like, oh, Miss St. Patrick, you want the usual, you know, a strawberry and a chocolate for the twins. And it hits Tasha again with another blow about, you know, the realization that Raina is dead. Okay. And you could see it on her face. She was like, no, I just need one for this year. And I believe she said, I thought she said chocolate. But maybe not. Either way, it was chocolate or strawberry. But anyway, that's what happened right there. And Terry was there to console her. So Terry's just been kind of standing in the gap and providing for Tasha's emotional needs right in through here, which is just all too convenient, you know, because he wanted her to bring her ass. No, he didn't. I'm just playing, y'all. So the whole government team, now they at one of their regular meetings, okay, and this is where Angie is still pressing for, well, okay, before they went in the meeting, Angie told Tamika about the tracker, but Tamika already knew about that, okay, which we'll talk about in a minute. But they go into the meeting. Angie's still pressing hard for this Jimenez, you know, whole thing. But Tamika pretty much, because, okay, Angie is the boss of everybody now, but then Tamika is the HBIC over Angie, okay? And she had to assert herself right here and tell Angie, bitch, no more Jimenez shit, okay? No more Jimenez shit. The damn Rico Suave from the DOJ done said to leave this shit alone. And so that's what we're going to do, okay? That's it. That's all. Angie's little feelings are crushed, okay? Because, again, this was her swipe at glory, and it's blown. Tamika, everybody leaves the room. Well, no, not everybody. Tamika dismisses Angie from the room so she could talk to Mock and Cooper Nutsacks, okay? And she tells them, look, I need something with this whole Terezi shit. I need y'all to bring me something ASAP because she know about the tracker and y'all ain't coming up with shit. So I need y'all to get something ASAP, okay? And they like, okay, you know, Mock says we'll have something by day's end, okay? So then they go on off, they scurry off to go do what they need to do. Donovan and Tamika end up sitting at the table because they told Mock and Sax told Tamika, you got it all wrong about Angie, okay? You got all this faith in her and this, that, and the other, but you got it all wrong about her. So when they leave, Tamika asks Donovan, so what's up? Like, is there any credence to what Mock and Cooper Nutsacks are saying about Angie? Do I have her all wrong? And this is where Donovan spills the beans about how the stunt Angie pulled with Blanca's the NYPD thing, okay? How she had Donovan and them go seize all the evidence from their investigation on the whole Ray Raina Tariq the thing, okay? And that puts something on Tamika's mind, okay? Terezi, this is in the aftermath of what happened at the spot. Terezi tells Sammy his deal that he has going on with Mock and Cooper Nutsacks, right? Because Sammy's like, because Terezi was trying to explain to him, I knew, you know, it wasn't no bullets in a gun. And Sammy's like, fuck all that. I can't eat now because they done cut us out the business. So, I mean, what's going on? I need some shit to crack. Like, and Terezi tells Sammy, listen, I got this in the bag, okay? I got this shit going on with Tommy because they want Ghost. They want the nigga, literally, that I was in jail with. And so, you know, he's good for it. You know, so basically we all right, just chill. I got it under control. I'm gonna take care of it. So now is where we see that the plan that Ghost and Kanan hatched last episode worked, okay? And I didn't put this together. Y'all tell me if y'all did or not, but I didn't put this together. But that whole drive-by was Ghost and Kanan's plan to have the Italians cut Tommy out, okay? So everything worked like a charm. Their plan, everything is fine. It went exactly the way they wanted it. And we see that because Tommy is explaining to Ghost and Kanan all of what happened about the whole Sammy situation, and Terezi was gonna kill Sammy and everything. So Ghost, but Tommy says, I'm not even so sure it was Dre. Kanan says, yeah, for sure it was Dre. And Tommy's like, okay, that nigga gotta die. Ghost is like, nah, we gotta hold off because now Dre done weaseled his way into the QCP. We can't kill him because they gonna know it was us. You know, if it happens, they gonna know it was us. So, but Tommy feels indebted to Terezi, okay, because of what happened. It looks to Tommy as if Terezi was going to sacrifice his best friend for him, you know, but Ghost is like, why would that nigga do that? Why would he do that? But again, Tommy in his emotions is like, because I'm his son, you know, he gets all huffy with Ghost and everything. And Kanan is sitting back just watching all the dissonance that's going on between the two people who were once like this, okay? So Kanan obviously is pleased with what's going on. And Ghost hands Tommy the check for the clean money that he laundered through Truth, okay? And Ghost leaves, okay? Now, before Ghost left, Tommy said, you know, if we get rid of these Jimenez, you're not gonna ever have to worry about Terezi again. And I had to drop on them, but I held off because you was on this whole Terezi might be this snitch and that and this and that kick. So I held off on them. So I didn't take that opportunity because of you, and now you still talking more shit. Like, so, but Kanan's loving it. Kanan is exactly what Kanan wanted to happen is happening. So Ghost leaves after he gave Tommy the check. Kanan is still getting further and further into Tommy's head, because he mentions that to get the Jimenez, he mentions that Cristobal and Dre got this little minor, right now it's minor, beef going on. And he's like, you know, maybe we can instigate to further that along, and we could just kind of, you know, get the ball rolling a little bit more on eliminating these motherfuckers, okay? But Ghost, I mean, not Ghost, I'm sorry, y'all, but Tommy's like, nah, you know, we gotta wait on Ghost to get the drop on, we gotta wait for him to get Dre and all of this and that. And Kanan's like, nigga, you can't do shit without Ghost. Like, call me when you ready, okay? Holler at me when you ready. And Kanan leaves. Meanwhile, as he's walking out the door, he's got this smirk on his face. Now, Tamika and Angie end up sitting back down in Angie's office. And this is where Tamika tells Angie she's known about this whole tracking on Tommy's car the whole time, and she left her out because she doesn't trust Angie's judgment. And she says, you know, you don't have the ability to be objective in these situations. So yes, I knew about it, I sanctioned it, and I intentionally left your ass out. Angie's like, oh, well, that undermines my authority. Bullshit. Like, I just can't with Angie. I don't know. She just really seems like a weak link to me. And she can go. Like, she can just go. But Tamika asked her about the NYPD situation, because she says, Donovan told me about your little stunt you pulled with pulling the evidence from that NYPD shit. Like, why would you be interested in that? And Angie, of course, continues to lie, saying it's only about dirty cops. Because Tamika said, is this my understanding is that this is about dirty cops. Are you sure that's all that this is about? You know, because Tamika suspects something, okay, more than what Angie's saying. And then Angie gonna say, to my knowledge, it's only about dirty cops. But of course, we know Angie is covering up a murder that she knows about, but she can't say that to Tamika, okay? So Tamika's like, you know, I like you and all that, but you know, you just really need to watch your step, because the how we win is just as important as the win itself. And I agree, considering all the shit that just happened last season, you know, about the whole corruption going on, and you know, so I get what Tamika is saying. But I just can't with Angie. So now back to this Queen's Child project. Simon reappears. Oh, Simon, he got his little mustache and everything. He done been to Berlin and shit. But he's still the same old Simon. Simon says, because they sitting at the table and Tate is making his case to Simon about why he wants Dre to be a part of the QCP. This nigga Simon was like, we already got one black. I mean, another one would just be redundant. So, you know, I mean, Simon, he's old fucked up asshole, you know, but he just is what he is. He the same Simon he always been. So he says, Dre says, not Dre, I'm sorry, y'all. Tate says, I want Dre because of this, that, and the third. Ghost is pushing back, saying, nah, you know, I have a financial commitment as well as an emotional investment or some shit. He said, you know, he's trying to get Simon to not endorse Dre, okay? But Simon ends up agreeing, says, okay, Tate, whatever the fuck you want, you can have Dre. If you want Dre, go ahead, y'all do what y'all want to do, and cool. But Ghost, of course, is still opposed to it. Dre and Tate leave, okay? And Simon is like, because Ghost says, you know, are you really just gonna let him walk all over us like this? But Simon's like, nigga, all the shit, all the impediments that I put in your way, you seem to wiggle out from underneath them. So get the wiggling, nigga. Okay, get the wiggling. Like, I don't know what you want me to do, but this is your shit. Do what you need to do. And I agree. I agree with Simon. But again, Ghost is just not the same Ghost. Like, he is really, really losing it. And we're going to talk about that too. So, continue to wriggle. Okay. Now, this is where Kung Fu Kenny makes his debut on Power. Okay. My nigga. Okay. He shows up. He got the half cornrows, the half out. He really, really did a great job playing Laces. So he shows up out front the convenience store where Kanan was, and he approaches Kanan, and this is just a you know, by chance encounter that he comes up on Laces coming out of the store. Laces is trying to pump these gift cards, and at first Kanan ain't fucking with him or whatever, but when Laces mentions the Spanish, Kanan's like, this is my opportunity. Do you know any Tainos? Okay, and he smiles. He like, yeah, nigga. Yeah, I sure the hell do. What's up? So the bike, Laces was trying to get Kanan to get the bike from him, take the bike up off him or whatever, buy it. And when Kanan finds out that Laces has the 411 on the Tajinos, he grabs the bike, okay, and he rolls up on one of the Tajinos while Laces is creating a distraction, again with the gift cards. He pedals up on this bike with the basket on the front and shoots the dude point blank, broad daylight. And I was balled up because when I saw the preview for this week with the bike, I was like, what the hell? I was like, what is going to be happening with this bike? And they nailed it with this. Like, he rose up on that bike and I was done. This nigga 50 Cent is a fool. But he executed what he was trying to do. He's using Laces as a means to an end, basically, okay? So, kills the dude, rolls off on the bike. Laces is doing the butterfly, okay? He like, can I take his wallet too? Kanan like, I don't give a fuck, take his shoes too. Okay, cool. That was a great scene. Angie meets Ghost at this sneaker store. This was Ghost being Ghost, playing on her emotions, basically. He reached out to her just to get her there, just so he could see her again. And when she wasn't giving in to him, you know, he throws out the birthday, knowing that that's going to tug on her emotions. And she immediately just completely just, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't know. And, you know, I just was like, I'm really not liking Ghost. And I'm trying to, you know, just keep in mind that he lost his daughter, but I don't know, he just not sitting right with me. And while they were in the sneaker store, Angie asked Ghost if he was still working with Dre. He says no, but then kind of was like, no, but yeah, because he's on the QCP and whatever. And it was just bullshit. It was just bullshit. But she says, you know, this can't be a thing. I can't keep getting sucked back into this. We can't keep doing this. But that's when he whips out the birthday for, you know, the whole sympathy card. And I don't like people that try to guilt people into shit. And Ghost is very manipulative, as we know. I mean, of course he's manipulative, but I'm done with both of them. But they're obviously a mainstay. So I guess I better just get over it. Mock and Sax are pressing Terezi for some more concrete information on Ghost. They're at the hospital because I guess Connie is getting her chemo. So Mock and Cooper Nutsax are like, you know, you need to give us something because you ain't giving us nothing. And Terezi was trying to tell them that something about the beef that's going on with Dre, and they were like, that's not enough, we need more. And Cooper and Sax was like, you know, we would hate for you to end up being for Connie to find out you a snitch on her deathbed or some bullshit. Terezi's like, nigga, I know the stakes, I'll get you, you know, what you need. Just hold on, okay? Don't worry about it. I'll deliver them on a silver platter, or maybe even some china. Talking about Mock, and Cooper was like, he's Korean, you know. So that was just a quick little ha in there. So Ghost done figured out a way to get Dre out of his hair, or so he thought. Okay. It backfired, as we gonna talk about, but Dre is called down to the club where he works, and Quinn is there with Ghost. Quinn says, you forgot to mention to Karen that you signed a no-compete clause. And Bassett don't fuck with non-compete, so I have to dismiss you, you know, unless Ghost here wants to rip up the contract. And Ghost is like, of course not. Why would I do that? I mean, that's not even a question. Shit. You know, just, you know, so Quinn fires Dre. Dre looking all nervous. He don't know what to do because it blindsided him. Okay. So in that moment, Ghost kind of just had the one up on him. And Ghost was like, you know, I don't want you worrying about the Queen's Child Project. You know, I will just have your little fundraiser event over at Truth tonight. Don't worry about it. I got it. So he was feeling real good about himself in that moment. And I was kind of excited a little bit too, because I'm waiting, just like a lot of people, waiting for Dre to get what he deserves. But that would have been too easy right then. That would have been too easy. So, okay, so, you know, whatever. Moving on. Proctor ends up, I don't want to say luring. Well, yeah, Proctor ends up luring Tommy down to have this meeting with Angela, because Angie had called him and was like, I need you to do something for me. If you wanna be a lawyer again, I need you to do this for me. So he ends up getting Angie and Tommy together. Now Angie is downloading Tommy on all of this shit that she has on him about his connection with the Jimenez, thinks he's the distro for the Jimenez, got pictures and shit. Proctor's like, bitch, he ain't in none of them pictures. And, you know, and Tommy's like, if you really had something worth having on me, you would have already arrested me. So, you know, what are we even here for? Angie's like, I'm going to basically bring you down in this investigation with all of this shit if you don't cooperate, basically trying to coerce him into snitching. Okay. But of course, Tommy's not going to go that route. And Angie has, I guess, what you can consider her ace in the hole with Tommy, if there ever was one. But she pulls the tracker off of Tommy's car and is like, I'm going to use this to get you if you don't cooperate with this. So that's her leverage. Okay. And he's like, you conniving ass bitch. And she is, you know, but still she's like, you know, I got all of this on you and I need you to play ball, because she's still hung on this Jimenez shit. So she's doing whatever she can to try to get what she can to still grab her moment of glory. Okay. Now at the fundraising event at Truth, Ghost is there. Okay. He's maneuvering about the crowd and everything. And this is where Simon points out to Ghost that Dre is there. Okay. So he approaches Tate about it. And it just seems like Tate just keeps taunting him. Okay. And Ghost has lost it. I mean, he might still have a teeny bit of a way to go before he actually all the way loses it, but Ghost is gone, because he confronts Tate, and you know, Tate is just talking his usual bullshit, and he and Andre go head off, and Simon says, don't worry, we'll get him, basically is what he says. And meanwhile, though, Ghost has done left the family hanging at the crib for the birthday dinner, because Tasha texts him and is like, are you coming, or something like that, or something like that, and because he was supposed to bring the cake, but he's at the event. He, you know, so that was that. Now, while they are eating dinner, is text going on. Okay. Kanan is texting Tariq, and Terry is texting Tasha. Terry's asking her, you know, what's going on. Tasha tells him Ghost never showed up, so there's no cake. Terry says, okay, cool, I got you. And then it's just this kind of, I don't know, awkward, weird, dark energy going on at the dinner table. Keisha's there, Tommy's there. He tries to crack a few jokes. The mother is like asking Tasha, well, who is that you talking to? Tasha like, nobody, Ma, just mind your business. And it's just really, really weird and awkward. So Tommy takes Tariq out. Okay, says, I got a gift for you downstairs. And he lets him drive the Tang. Okay, the Mustang. So they riding through the streets or whatever. Tariq is, you know, having a good time and everything. They pull over, okay, and Tommy, you know, tells him, turn the car off, take the keys out the ignition, and he confronts him about him snitching on them when they were at Raina's funeral. Remember, because he called, he texted Dre telling him to run, because he overheard what Tommy said about the hitters being in place. So he was like, basically, because of your ass, I'm a dead man out here in these streets. Why did you snitch? And this is where Tariq says, because Dre helped me to locate my enemy. So I said it. He felt like he was, he owed Dre something. He owed Dre his loyalty. That's why he snitched. And that's what he told Tommy. But Tommy was like, you know, this nigga done took my business. He sent you in to with Ray thinking you know going to get, like, Dre did all of this shit. Now you didn't know all of that, but you knew he was our enemy and you still snitched. Now you are only loyal to yourself. You just like your daddy. You're only loyal to yourself. Okay, so because of you, I'm basically a walking dead man. So, you know, that was that. And he told him, he said, okay, now drive us back home. All right. So meanwhile, Laces is still helping to facilitate Kanan's plan against the Taínos. Okay. He is talking to some dude outside of this building, look like the back of the building, and just again creating a distraction long enough for Kanan to blow the nigga's brains out. And it was just so, it was graphic, because he blows a hole in the dude's head and all the shit just splatters all over Laces, and Laces just wipes his face and just goes on about his business. And so then Terry shows up to the penthouse with the cake and everything, and of course Tasha's mother. This the most we seen her since forever, since the damn show started. We ain't seen the mother this much. If we still don't see the baby, was the baby there? No, the baby wasn't dead. Where was the baby? Anyway, so the mother is giving Terry a hard time. She like, you the nicest dressed delivery man I ever seen. But, you know, Tasha's like, oh, you know, mama, leave him alone and everything. She invites Terry to stay for some cake. But while Terry is there, Blanca and the other cop, the white cop with the white hair, shows up that's investigating Raina's murder. And he says they have another suspect, but they need the gun. Tasha's gun, okay? The gun that Angela done deleted out of evidence. And she says, well, the gun was stolen. Tasha says the gun was stolen. The white cop says to Blanca, okay, check it out and see if her story is, you know, what's going on with that. So she calls and says her story about the gun being stolen checks out. But it was a surprise to Terry. I mean, well, it wasn't a surprise to Terry, but she clearly was lying. And Terry knew that because of the way he looked at her. Like when she said the gun had been stolen, he looked at her like, what? Like, that was a lie. But anyway, Terry still believes that Tasha is covering for Ghost, okay? Tariq happens to walk past and he overhears Tasha saying that it was her who killed Ray Ray. And Terry, you know, Terry still thinks that Tasha is covering up for Ghost, and he tells her basically you could either be a victim or something, he says, and tells her to choose. I forgot what he said, but he's pretty much over it. He's convinced that it was Ghost, so he leaves, and that was that. But again, Tariq did overhear that, okay? So back at the fundraiser, Tate announces that they reached their fundraising goals, okay? So they happy, you know, about that. And the Reverend approaches Ghost as he's sitting down. Now, this is why I say Ghost he's not the same person, because he's drunk. He's still drinking. He's pretty much drunk. He's got this hazy view of the Reverend, and the Reverend is talking to him, and he says, "Good night, son." And Ghost is like, "I'm not your son, nigga." The look on his face, y'all, it just said, I'm not all the way here, okay? So the Reverend leaves, and Ghost is just done with everything at this point, okay? And he tells Tate, he was like, "Nigga, I want him off of this project. Okay, this nigga is still slanging dope and he's still down with Kanan. I want him off of this shit. Like, he does not deserve to be here." And Tate says to Ghost, again, Ghost has this haze in his eyes, and he says, "You don't deserve to be on this project, Ghost," and all of this and that, and it just triggers Ghost, and he grabs the nigga and chokes him out on the bar. And he's like, "Nigga, don't you know I will kill you? You don't fucking know who I am." You don't know me, nigga. I will kill you, okay? Tate's choked out, okay? Simon happens to snap Ghost out of it. He lets him up off the bar, and then this nigga Tate gets up and says, "You know you done fucked up, right?" Y'all leave it in the comments. Where that come from? And if you don't know that movie, you too young to be watching this review right here. Because the person who said that gives it away as to what movie that was. So y'all leave it in the comments. What movie was that? Okay. So I think, okay. Actually, you know what? Back at the crib at the St. Patrick's, After that whole situation goes down with the police showing up and asking about the gun, they decide to go ahead and cut the cake. Okay, they open up the cake. It's a strawberry cake that says "Happy Birthday, Raina." Everybody's just looking. Again, it's just way more awkward now, you know. And then that damn mother of hers gonna say, "You got the wrong cake." Tasha's like, "I know!" And runs out. And runs out. She's upset, okay? And so she takes a minute, you know, and she's sitting in the bathroom. She's looking at the picture of Raina. And Tariq approaches her and is like, basically tells her, like, look, I don't want you lying for me. I heard you tell Terry that it was you. Why don't you just let me confess? And Tasha was like, if you want to help me, just stay the fuck out the way, okay? And, you know, and Tariq says, do you wish it was me that was dead instead of Raina? Okay. And Tasha just gets up and storms out. Tariq discovers Tasha's sleeping pills. Okay. So I kind of had a moment. I was like, okay, is this nigga about to try to kill himself with sleeping pills? But he didn't do that. Cristobal and Dre are talking about the shit that's going down with Kanan. They don't know that it's Kanan, but they know that the Taínos are getting knocked off. So they say, Cristobal thinks it's 2-Bit, okay? And then Dre gets real defensive and is like, so nigga, you trying to say it was me? You know, 2-Bit worked for me, so therefore that means if 2-Bit is killing the Taínos, that means I sanction the killings, so then you trying to say it was me, you know? Cristobal's young. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But Dre is on pins and needles, okay? So he gets all in Cristobal's face and is like, take care of your shit. Take care of your gangster shit before I have to, okay? Now, going back to Kanan killing these Taínos, when he killed this last one, that's when this nigga Laces is chilling up against the car, eating some chicken nuggets, talking about dinosaurs and chickens and all of it. Just talking his shit, okay? His crackhead shit, all right? And it looks like for a second, because Kanan is wrapping the body, putting the body in the trunk, and Laces is getting ready to go on about his business, right? But the pistol cocks. He hears the pistol cock, okay? Because Kanan is standing behind him with the pistol on him. I thought he was going to shoot him, but he didn't, okay? But did y'all see his face? Like, Kendrick really did a good job. When he turned around after he heard that pistol cock, the look on his face was that of a crackhead that is confused. Like, he really did a good job. So Kanan doesn't shoot him. Instead, he takes the pistol and hands it to Laces and said, here you go, sell this. So Laces was like, nigga, you got a problem with making friends, or you ain't got no friends. You need some Cymbalta. It's for depression syndrome, but it may cause butt bleeds and dick burns or some shit. I was done. I was balled up. So shout out to Kendrick Lamar. He really did his thing. I'm just going to keep saying that because I love K-Dot, okay? Comes back to the crib drunk, stumbling, you know, he all disheveled looking, coming off the elevator, comes, you know, and comes in stumbling in with Tariq's gift. And this is where Tariq confronts him, okay? He like, you drunk, you know, and goes, hands him the gift and is like, son, I was working and your sister's name is going to be on the building and everything, but Tariq is not here for it. He's like, you're drunk. And he says, I don't want none of your drug money. And because Ghost is on this tip where he's like, Tariq should appreciate what I've done for him as far as providing this life for him that I Ghost didn't have growing up. So he needs to be grateful and stop acting as if I owe him something. But Tariq is more so like, I want the truth. Basically, I want the truth. And Ghost says, you know, Raina appreciated the shit that I did for her, okay? And Tariq was like, well, maybe if she had hated you, she would still be alive. And you're selfish. You know, I think that, Mom thinks that, Kanan and Uncle Tommy think that you are selfish. And Ghost is very selfish, okay? But I guess coming from Tariq after everything that has happened, of course, and him being drunk and enraged in that moment after what just happened at the fundraiser, that's the last thing that Ghost wants to hear, okay? But it's the truth, and Tariq said it. But Tariq said, I want you to tell me the truth, okay? And so when Tariq says what he says about Raina, that sets Ghost off. He reaching and grabbing, trying to get Tariq. He falls all off across the floor. He drunk. And Tariq says he's going back to school. Ghost is like, shit, I ain't paying for it. That's when Tariq was like, nigga, I don't want your fucking money, Ghost. I know who you really are, okay? And Tasha overhears the commotion. She comes out and she runs interference pretty much and tells Ghost to get the fuck out. Ghost says, this is my motherfucking house. You left, remember? I'm like, nigga, for real? Yeah, she left. You left too. Fuck, you talking about? This ain't gonna be good, y'all. This ain't gonna end well. Tommy and Terezi are at Tommy's house, talking about what happened earlier when Terezi was gonna kill Sammy, right? And Terezi notices the check that Ghost gave Tommy earlier, okay? And they just start kind of going back and forth, talking about you know, what happened. And Terezi shares his philosophy on snitching. The same thing he told Connie last episode, he told Tommy, was like, you know, it's not being a rat if you giving up information on somebody that you have no loyalty to. But if this is somebody that, you know, is basically going to be a casualty, and you know, you can use them as a means to your ends, then fuck them, tell on them. And Tommy's like, you was really going to rat? And that's when Terezi told him how he felt about it. But that was where Terezi discovered that Tommy's laundering money through Ghost Club. And then I think also that put something on Tommy's mind about Terezi's whole thought pattern when it comes to snitching. And I'm hoping it's going to all come together about how Terezi got out of jail. And I hope Tommy discovers it before it's too late. Diego approaches Dre about why he wasn't at the club, okay? And he puts the pistol to Dre about the gold gun, because he was like, somebody planted that my gun, and nigga, it was you. But Dre talks him down and was like, nah, come on, like, how would I have an opportunity to plant your gun? Like, I haven't even been, every time I've been with you, you know, we've been side by side. Like, I never had the time or the opportunity to do that. And I told y'all, Dre was in over his head, and Diego said that. Diego was like, you know, you in way over your head. And Dre admits it. He's like, yeah, I know, you know, the shit just got out of hand with all this shit going on. And they bring up Tommy and Ghost. And they said that it's them that's knocking off the Taínos. Diego says they got to fuck them up, talking about Tommy and Ghost, okay? But they going to leave Alicia out of it, okay? Because, you know, Alicia already thinks that Diego is a fuck up and a liability. And little does Diego know Alicia is the one who planted the damn gun, okay? So I'm curious to see how that's all going to shake out in the end, if he ever finds out that it was Alicia. Tommy, okay, the episode is rounding out. It's a knock on Angie's door. Okay, it's Tommy. She says, hold on, I'll be there in a minute. And she goes in the closet in the safe and gets the pistol and puts it in her waistband. Okay, as if Tommy didn't hear that through the door, you know. And for real, Angie, why you didn't have a pistol just sitting on the table? You know what I'm saying? Ain't no kids in your house. Ain't no babies running around. Like, all the shit that you got going on, girl, I would have that pistol beside me at all times. But Angie's a dizzy bitch. So, whatever. So again, Angie is trying to get Tommy to snitch. I mean, she shows him the paperwork and everything, and is like, Tommy, you can walk away completely clean from this if you sign this. And Tommy's like, you don't know me at all, do you? Like, you really don't know me at all. After all this time, you would really think that I would sign that damn shit. She's like, well, what do you want? Okay, and Tommy's like, I got a problem. My problem is your problem, but you can help me out if you give me that tracker. You want the Jimenez? Give me the tracker. She's like, that's federal property. Bitch, give him the damn tracker. Like, girl, come on now. So she gives him the tracker, and she says, well, she says something to the effect of, what makes you think that even after this, that I won't bring you down in this investigation? And he says, the same reason why you felt the need to get that pistol and put it in your waistband before I walked in. She's terrified of Tommy. She be trying to act like she not scared, but she is terrified of Tommy because Tommy is a crazy mofo. Okay, we know that. Tommy is crazy as shit, especially when he's emotional. So, as he's walking out, he was like, yeah, you know, I liked your plant better when it was over there. And she reaches for her gun and is like, get the fuck out of my house. Child, please, you ain't about to do nothing to no damn Tommy Egan, girl. So Terezi meets up with Mock and Nutsacks, and this is where he tells them that Tommy is laundering money through Ghost Club. So now Mock and Nutsacks is like, yeah, we got him now. Okay. So after the whole debacle over at the St. Patrick crib with Ghost and Tariq getting into it and the whole cake and all that shit, Kanan comes and picks Tariq up. Okay. So they riding together, and Tariq again, see, I was trying to get Tariq benefit of the doubt, thinking that he was going along with this dumb thing, thinking that like people expected him to be dumb, so he was going to be dumb so he could use that as a means to an end, like maybe as far as like getting back at Dre or something. I don't know. I was really trying to give him benefit of the doubt, but clearly this little boy is all the way dumb, because he's riding in the car with Kanan and tells Kanan that Tasha don't live with Ghost no more. She doing her own thing, and just telling him shit that he don't need to be telling him. Okay, so Kanan, of course, is eating it up because that's what he wants Tariq to do, is sell him all of the business. Okay, so Ghost goes back and talks to the Reverend. He shows up at the church and he talks to the Reverend. And he's blaming everybody. He's blaming Tariq for not being there for Raina. He's blaming Tasha for not seeing that Tariq was in trouble. But he's not taking any accountability for anything, that any part that he played in it, because the Reverend was like, well, where was you when all of this was going on? He was like, I was in jail for something I didn't do. And the Reverend's like, okay, well, what was that? And he was like, he said he got brought in on some bullshit trying to protect somebody or some shit. I forgot exactly what he said, but again, he's just not taking responsibility for anything that he's done. And the Reverend asks him, well, what would Raina do? And he says, Raina will want me to be different. And he says he wants to be, the Reverend tells him like, well, you can do that, but you yourself have to want to be different. And he says he wants to be a better man, and the Reverend says he can do that, but he has to want to do it. So I believe that was maybe a moment of reckoning for Ghost. Like, he might be trying to see for a minute that he actually is very selfish, and that he has contributed to this whole clusterfuck of shit, whether he wanted to believe it or not. But it's obvious, and I think that became kind of sort of obvious after he was sitting there talking to the Reverend. So he wants to be a better man, so he goes back to Angie's ass. Shows up at Angie's door, and she lets him in. Like, these two, I cannot with these two. Like, I'm just totally over these two. But anyway, y'all, I have sat here and I have talked for almost an hour. I hope y'all have hung in here with me. If you have, and you have not yet subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do that now so you can get more of me. I will be back next week with episode 6 of Power. Okay, so subscribe to the channel, turn your notifications on, leave your comments and all of that, yada, yada, yada. You can follow me on IG, beautifully_coy on IG. And that's it, y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in, sticking around. And I look forward to hearing y'all or seeing y'all comments, okay? So we can chop it up and talk about the show in the comments. All right, y'all. I'll catch y'all next week. Bye.